there we go. Okay, so this is a disclaimer. I am not I'm not at all saying that essential oils can cure or stop you getting COVID, but certainly we can help our immune system, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So medieval doctors used to wear a mask and a beak, and they had a red eye, and that was supposed to get rid of the devil. And inside the beak was strong aromatic herbs and spices, which was supposed to get rid of the bad air, which was also thought to carry the plague. And so they knew all about essential oils and herbs and spices to protect themselves. Kind of what we're doing now with masks and crazy things, right? So what is the immune system? The immune system is your body's network of organs and cells that fight together. They keep you healthy by fighting against bacteria and parasites and fungi. And when your immune system is compromised, it's like taking this wall that's there to protect you and just tearing it down. So who am I and why am I doing this? So I'm an internationally trained lymphedema therapist. I'm a board certified massage therapist, and I'm a nationally certified lymphedema therapist. I'm also a clinical aromatherapist and a beauty therapist, a skincare esthetician, and I'm a holistic health practitioner and integrative health coach, and I'm also an aromatherapy instructor. I'm also a mother and a daughter and a sister and a grandmother, and those things are all really, really important. So I bring together all of my nearly 30 years of training to bring to you this seminar and everything that I do in my life. And so when we talk again about an immune system, a balanced immune system is really, really good for health. And our immune system cannot be balanced just with drugs and pills or even herbs. We need to create mental, emotional, and spiritual balance in our lives. And so we're going to talk about this today quite a lot because I'm going to talk a lot about essential oils, but it's also about bringing other things into your life to balance. And we need to develop a lifestyle that will support and strengthen our bodies and have a body and mind program so we can boost immunity every single day. And essential oils really do help because they work on a physical level and they also work on an emotional level, and they help to strengthen our immune system. So you might be asking, what is aromatherapy? So aromatherapy is the safe use of essential oils which come from plants for their use on the body, the mind, and the spirit. And we use essential oils, which are the aromatic compounds that have been extracted from the essential oils, from the plants, from the flower or from the leaf or from the wood. And there's so many essential oils to choose from, and many, many that are good for your immune system. And for thousands and thousands of years, people have been using essential oils for different things. And when you look at this picture over here, you can see a little lavender molecule. It's blown up exponentially, and that's so tiny normally. And the little lavender there is a lavender essential oil, because the essential oils are actually stored in the leaf or in the flower. In this case, it's in the flower. And then we put them into these beautiful dark bottles. We want to protect them. And then at the top, you can see some chemistry. And that's just to show you that there are chemical components in the oils. And what are essential oils? They are the hundreds and hundreds of chemical components that are in the essential oil blend. They're the key role in the biochemistry of the plant, and they're actually the regulators of the plant, and they help the plant to adapt to the environment. They attract insects, and they also control the multiplication and renewal of the cells. So the oils work on the body just the same way can help with cell regeneration. Cytophylactic, essential oil of neroli or rose helps with cell regeneration. And just the way it works on the plant, these chemicals in the essential oils can help us in our bodies. And the essential oils stimulate the self-healing capacity of the body and also improve the functioning of the immune system. And when they are skillfully blended, we can do so many wonderful things. Example, essential, oh, admit, I can see this. Okay, good. Sorry. Essential oils of oregano, clove, and eucalyptus are really, really good for viral infections and to protect your immune system. Grapefruit and bay will detoxify, and grapefruit happens to be one of my favorite oils for the lymphatic system. And what I do is I customize essential oils for my clients as I'm working with them on the table, or I do consultations with people online, and I do consultations to see what's going on with them. And then I customize essential oil blends. I just did a blend for a birthing, for the birthing room, and then to help with the delivery. I also just made a blend for someone who was dying and went and massaged her and made the most incredible oils to help her with the transition. These oils can be used for so many wonderful things. So immunity is the ability to destroy pathogens and other materials to prevent further cases of an infectious disease. And so our immune system is responsible for identifying everything that doesn't belong in the body and that could be harmful. And when there's an invader, that immune system will kick in and will neutralize or destroy whatever it is that it perceives to be the enemy. And you can see here a macrophage, which is part of the lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is part of the immune system. In my next lecture, I'll be talking a lot about the lymphatic system, but there are macrophages and phagocytes and lymphocytes, and they render all of the pathogens harmless. And this is a macrophage attacking an E. coli. In your lymphatic system, we have white blood cells, and they're produced in the nodes, and they fight off infection. And the lymph is concentrated in these nodes, and the germ diseasing, the germs are destroyed over there, and then the lymph continues. And it prevents infections from spreading throughout the body. And antibodies are formed in the lymph nodes, which react against invaders, and they help with defense. And if you think about it now, that's all we've been hearing, you know, antibodies, infection, immunity, keeping ourselves healthy. And so it's really there right out in our world, looking at all of this, how we can keep ourselves as strong as possible. And so when we have poor lymphatic drainage, is a breeding ground for pathogenic materials. And when the lymph system is blocked, those lymphocytes and T cells and B cells and all the other infection fighting materials can't move properly, and they don't function properly, and you get lymphatic stagnation. So many of you on the call know that I'm a lymphatic therapist, and that's what I do every day. I help people with their lymphatic system to keep moving. And particularly during this time, it's so good because it keeps your immune system really good. And I'm going to talk in a little while about dry brushing. So that's something you can do at home to keep your lymphatic system functioning. So there it is. You use a natural brush, like a sisal brush, and you work in the direction of lymph flow, and that will actually help to protect your body. After this webinar, I will send all of you a chart of the dry brushing pathways so that you can do that. You can also include essential oils and then do your dry brushing. And how are we going to strengthen immunity? So this is what I want to talk to you about today. We need a multifaceted approach. I think we have to have number, you saw I put aromatherapy is number 1 on the list there. Herbal medicine, a healthy diet with antioxidants, and raw foods, and also superfoods like goji berries, mangosteen, acai berry, and manual lymph drainage, skin brushing, and lots of skincare rituals. If you guys would like to put in the chat anything else that you can think of that would be really good to boost the immune system, things that you are doing, what are you doing in your lives to help to strengthen immunity? That would be great to just put that in the chat. And also, we need to have a positive mental outlook. And today, it's very difficult to have a positive mental outlook. Everybody is talking about the virus, about have you had the vaccine, what is going on. We need to keep that mental outlook. And we know one of the other things about keeping the immune system strong is people and being together and touching and supporting each other. And we're not doing that right now. So we're so much on Zoom now, aren't we? But we have to keep that positive mental outlook. And we can do that by still connecting with those that we love and sharing and doing what it is you're passionate about and reaching out to people to help them in whatever way that you can. We need to exercise. Yoga and Tai Chi and Qigong are fantastic to do. And we have a Qigong master here in this chat here. And then you need adequate sleep. And I'm not good at that. I'm very good at all the other things. I do everything that I tell, but I work very long hours. And when I'm trying to put classes together and study and do all my research, I'm not getting enough sleep. And that is something, we all have something that we have to work on. And so that's really good for your immune system. We need to deep breathe. And breathe really, really deeply, because that helps to move the lymph, and that also helps with your lymphatic system and keeping you calm and your body calm. Rebounding, a little mini trampoline, will also help with the immune system. And then the emotional healing, you need to reach out to someone if you need a psychologist or a therapist, or you need to have someone help you with hypnotherapy. People are doing a lot online, and a lot of people are working in person right now. And guided imagery and visualization is fantastic, because I like to close my eyes and I like to just go to the Lavender Fields in France, and I do that regularly, and you can transport yourself anywhere. And when I have patients come to see me who are really sick, I often will do guided imagery. And so for that hour or hour and a half, they really, really can go into another world. And the French doctors emphasize the importance of the terrain of the body, of supporting the terrain of the body. So what is the terrain? So when you have a tree, and a tree is growing, and you look at the roots, and at the top you've got flowers, or let's say you've got apples over there. The quality of those apples is only going to be according to what's in the ground, what those roots are bringing up, and how, hold on. Sorry, I thought I had to let somebody in here. The terrain, that is the terrain, and what it's fed and nourished, and the water, that is so important, and it will affect the quality of the apples. So that's what they talk about. And in our body, the terrain is all the things we've been talking about: your diet, your way of thoughts. You talk. When you talk, every cell in your body is listening and can be affected by your thoughts. So that is helping the terrain of your body. And if you can keep the terrain really strong, that is what we want to do. We've got to support our health rather than fighting diseases. And if the body and mind are healthy, it's unlikely that the person will get sick. So we can strengthen the terrain with essential oils to help us to support and maintain homeostasis. And then, this is not moving now. Let's just see what's happening here. There we go. So I wanted to share with you, because we're going to do some recipes and different things for the immune system, 5 of my favorite essential oils for immune support. Tea tree, which comes from Australia, is called Melaleuca altifornia, and it's an immunostimulant, it's bactericidal, it's antiviral, and it's very easy to get hold of. It's very safe. It's very, very inexpensive. So it's something that you should always have in your repertoire for the immune system. And then lemon is very anti-infectious. It stimulates the formation of leukocytes, which are white blood cells. Lemon also helps you to stay very focused. It's a wonderful for vitality and for liveliness. And grapefruit is another one that I love. That's probably my favorite essential oil of all of them, because it actually helps the pumping of the lymphatic system, and it's also antiseptic and it's antidepressant. It raises the spirits. And when your emotions are not functioning properly, you could get depressed, and that will actually affect your immune system. And another one of my favorites is called bay laurel, and that is the bay leaf that we used to cook with. I don't cook meat anymore, but when we used to cook meat, we would put bay in it. And it stimulates the formation of lymphocytes. And it's also an immune stimulant. And it's used for colds and flu. And you can actually put it directly on the lymph nodes because it helps with the swollen glands. Bay is beautiful for the immune system. And then there's Ravensara, which is Ravensara aromatica, which increases lymph drainage and helps to prevent the flu, and also helps with Epstein-Barr and certain viruses like that. There is another Ravensara, which we'll talk about in a little while, which is called Ravintsara, which has a different effects. It's more for the lungs. Then I'm going to talk about some other essential oils and give you more details of all of this. How many of you have used Angelica? It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful oil because the name Angelica, Angelica, that's the botanical name, that is for the angels. And if you look at the plant and you see that the flowers are just reaching up to the heavens, this is definitely for the angels and to help raise the spirits. But it's also very anti-inflammatory, and it stimulates lymphatic flow and helps to detoxify after illness. And then it also promotes a feeling of balance and relieves nervous tension. It's a very, very, very powerful essential oil and really good for your immune system. And here is the bay laurel again, so you can see a picture of it. You probably recognize those leaves. So it is a lymphatic regulator, and it's warm and refreshing, and it's also good for your lymphatic system. And then Cypress, I love the oils that come from the trees because it helps with the lymph and the venous system, and it helps with cellulite, and it's anti-infectious and antibacterial, and it's also an immune stimulant. And as well, it cleanses the spirit and helps with nervous tension. So that's essential oil of cypress. And grapefruit is the one that I told you is my favorite of all favorites, helping with cellulite and also with digestive complaints. And it's an antidepressant, but it's a wonderful lymphatic stimulant, and so it will help with the immune system. Helichrysum increases lymph flow. Now, this is from the flower. It's called Everlasting, and it's really good for wounds, but also good for emotional wounds, and helps with lymphatic flow. This is an expensive oil, so it might not be one that you're going to just automatically go out and get, but it's absolutely beautiful, the most beautiful oil. And Juniper is a detoxifier and a cleanser, and it promotes kidney function. And it also helps lymphatic drainage and toxin accumulation. So when we have our elimination channels functioning well, we can be healthy and have a strong immune system. And so those detoxification pathways are your skin, your lungs, your colon, your lymphatic system. And those have to be functioning effectively for you to be very, very healthy. Lavender, of course, is for everything. Lavender, that's where I go. I go to the lavender fields. It's antimicrobial, it's anti-infectious, it's wound healing. And it really is wonderful for the immune system, but it also helps to calm the nervous system, because when you inhale lavender, it triggers the release of serotonin, which gets you into a really, really relaxed state. And here's the lemon. We already spoke about that, helping the lymphatic function. It stimulates leukocyte function and boosts immunity. So lemongrass is also a wonderful, wonderful essential oil for the immune system, because it's a purifier and it's also anti-inflammatory. And a lot of times when we have a lot of inflammation in the body, that is going to affect us, and we will be stagnated, and the lymph won't function properly, and we may have a lowered immunity. And peppermint, this one helps with, it's a big word, it's called lymph angiomotoricity, which means the pumping of the lymphatic system. And it also reduces fever and helps with respiration and helps with clarity and keeps your mind to function really well. But it's very good for the lymph system and therefore good for your immune system. And here's the Ravensara aromatica that I spoke to you about, that it's increasing lymphatic drainage and helping to prevent flu. So we don't hear many people having flu these days, but I think they are having flu, it's just not being reported. And also we're wearing masks, and we're washing our hands, and we're using disinfectants. So it's protecting people. Rosemary, how many of you cook with rosemary? It's beautiful. I do, yeah. And so it supports the immune system, and it also helps to strengthen and support the entire system of the body. Rosemary strengthens and fortifies the whole system of the body and helps with the endocrine system. And that's what tea tree looks like. And it's antifungal and antiviral. And it's a funny story, because when my son went off to college a million years ago, but I packed him an essential oil travel kit, a first aid kit with essential oils and homeopathics. And every time I was talking to him and he said, "And what should I do, Mom? My acne is really bad." Get out the tea tree. "Mom, I've got a spider bite. What should I do?" Get out the tea tree. So he really remembers very fondly about tea tree. And he always will say, "Tea tree, it's antiviral, antifungal, and antibacterial." So he's funny. And then we know from everything that I've been talking to you about that there is a relationship between behavior, the nervous system, and the immune system. And so it's part of this defense against illness and parasites in the body. We want to balance the body and the mind, and it's been proven that stress lowers white blood cells, and that the relaxation response increases immunity. There's something called psychoneuroimmunology. There's a woman called Candace Pert who wrote a book and started studying about this connection between our bodies and our immune system and the nervous system. And so essential oils can really help with that tremendously. We know that stress has an effect on the immune system. When you have too much cortisol in your blood for an extensive period of time, it's going to help lower your immunity. And the first step would be to boost your immunity by using essential oils to relax. Did you know that after 5 minutes of inhaling an essential oil, it's already in your brain? That is how powerful essential oils are. And I put this in just to remind me, just to check in with you guys. Does anyone know what this is? You can unmute yourself and tell me if you know what this flower is.
Orange blossom. Orange blossom.
Yes, it's orange blossom or neroli. And neroli is the orange blossom. That's great, Olivia. From the orange tree. From the orange tree, we get neroli. And from the orange fruit, we get orange essential oil from the skin. And then from the leaf, we get petitgrain. This has the most exquisite smell. And it's really good for depression and uplifting the spirits, which, as you've heard what I'm saying, is also important for your immune system. So aromatherapy is a very powerful tool that can help to balance your endocrine and your immune system, as in the psychoneuroimmunology. And when we break that stress cycle, we can boost immunity. So as we inhale the oils, we can actually influence the secretion of neurochemicals from the brain, such as dopamine, serotonin, and all the other neurotransmitters that get transmitted from the brain. Have any of you done forest bathing? It's my favorite thing to do, is to go into the forest. And it's been about 2 years now. I was giving a talk in San Francisco, and my husband and I went into the redwoods and we did forest bathing. But actually, when you're in the forest, there are aromatic substances that are produced by the trees and the plants, and they've been linked with lower inflammation in the brain, and they actually protect the brain. But also in Japan, they take groups out of stressed school children. That would be a wonderful thing to do right now. And they've actually shown in some clinical trials that forest bathing and being in the forest actually lowers your blood pressure and lowers your the risk of getting infection and helps to boost your immunity. So don't forget it. Go into the forest or go outside to your garden and hug a tree. It's just wonderful to do that. Other ways to support your immune system would be a diet low in sugar and refined carbohydrates, high in leafy green vegetables. And research shows that the immune system benefits from engaging in regular physical activity, and sleep restores our body and helps with immunity. We get into that REM sleep. And we can use essential oils in the home, and we can incorporate them into our everyday lives by diffusing them. And I'm going to give you some recipes. I promised that I would. Diffusing an essential oil synergy in the home, you can get it into the air. And you can also put an antiviral synergy into a liquid soap to add, and you can also add it to a hand sanitizer. So an example of an antiviral synergy would be essential oil of bay and lemon and some thyme. And you could mix that into a liquid soap or into a hand sanitizer, or you could make your own. This is an all-purpose cleaning spray that you can make. You need a spray bottle, and if you're going to keep it and keep doing it, then I suggest getting a glass bottle or getting a PET bottle, which is not as toxic as regular plastic. And you will put in vinegar, water, and borax into the bottle. Get a 2-ounce bottle, and then you add a blend. You actually blend the oils separately before you put them into the bottle. Peppermint, thyme, and tea tree. And then you can add a teaspoon of Castile soap, add that into the bottle, shake it up, and label it. It's very important to label what you're doing. You think you're going to remember, but you may not. And you want to use the right product for the right thing. And then air fresheners, wonderful to do at this time. Again, you need a 2-ounce spray bottle with a fine mist setting, 15 drops of an essential oil blend, and 1 ounce of water and 1 ounce of witch hazel. You can use alcohol, but it can't be rubbing alcohol. It needs to be the pure 90% alcohol. You can use vodka too if you want. And you would fill that bottle with water and add your essential oil blend and shake it up. There are different dispersers that you can get that help everything to blend when you blend it with water, because essential oils actually do not blend with water. And so with this blend, I've suggested lemon, Eucalyptus citrodora, which is a lemon eucalyptus, rosemary, and grapefruit. And that's a really wonderful uplifting blend, but it's also antiseptic as well. And that's just in the days when we were in person, some of my students and some of the essential oil blends. And here is an immunity blend. You can use this in the bath, and then you would not put in the calophyllum. You would just use the essential oils, or you would blend in the calophyllum and also add some as a carrier oil like coconut oil. So lavender, and these are a lot of the oils that I've been talking to you about: lavender, tea tree, lemon, and Eucalyptus globulus. Now, I spoke to you before about Eucalyptus citrodora, didn't I? It's a different kind of eucalyptus. It has different chemical components in it. The Eucalyptus citrodora, Olivia, do you remember? I put you on the spot there. Do you remember what the Eucalyptus citrodora, the chemical components in it? It's okay, it's been a long time. But we can't hear her. For some reason, I can't hear her. Yeah. No, we can't hear her. So can't hear you. The Eucalyptus citrodora has a chemical component in it that's very, very calming. It has citral in it. And then the Eucalyptus globulus has got a lot of cineol, so it really helps with the mucous membranes. And then Ravintsara. When I spoke about one of the other blends, I spoke about Ravintsara. It's a different oil. It's a different botanical name. It's grown in a different part of the world, and there's usually a lot of confusion. So when I teach my classes, we go into depth about different kinds of eucalyptus, different kinds of lavender. What's the difference between Ravintsara and Ravintsara? And we go into much more detail. But you could use this blend in a bath, or as for cold and flu, for daily maintenance. This is good for immune strengthening. Nioli, which actually also comes from Australia, and that is MQV, we call it, Melaleuca vidifloria. And black pepper, which actually works on the immune system, grapefruit, cardamom, and Ravintsara. Cardamom is a wonderful spice, and as an essential oil, it's just fantastic. And then there are oils for the lymphatic system, and you can do these blends and actually apply it very lightly to your skin and then do your dry brushing. And so you could use a combination of grapefruit and lemon, grass and cypress, or you could do another one with peppermint, geranium and rosemary, and you would add that into 1/2 ounce of grapeseed oil. You could use coconut oil as well. And then foods to boost immunity. I spoke to you about what not to eat. All the cruciferous vegetables, such as kale and chard and Brussels sprouts and broccoli, those are all really, really good to boost your immune system. And also you can get turmeric, fresh turmeric, and put that in your juice or cook with it. Kiwi is really good for the immune system. It's high in vitamin C, and garlic and onions. And then red and yellow onions are particularly good, and there's quercetin in them, which is anti-inflammatory and antiviral. There are so many supplements to boost immunity, but elderberries, vitamin C are very good for now, and you want to get a liposomal vitamin C because that will absorb the best way. And then immune modulators like colostrum, and there's lactoferrum, which comes in the colostrum, and that really helps tremendously to boost your immune system. And coenzyme Q10, selenium, and zinc, but zinc has a special role of its own. Now during this COVID time, we want to keep our vitamin D levels really high, and also zinc. And zinc is very important for the development of the immune cells. But be careful, because zinc can actually make you feel nauseous. So you should always take it with food. And you don't need to have high amounts of it. Zinc is also in oysters and red meat and beans and nuts and whole grains. I don't eat a lot of those foods. So if you don't eat some of the foods, you've got to find out where else you can find those different supplements. Medicinal mushrooms. Oh my goodness, mushrooms are just so fantastic for the immune system. I do a lot of stir fries, and it's just wonderful. And so my taiki mushroom is good for the immune system, reishi and shiitake. Very good to make a soup sometimes with shiitake mushrooms, and leeks and onions when people are going through chemotherapy and you want to boost your immune system. And this is a really beautiful morning ritual that you can do. And this was by Dr. John Richer, who was a naturopath in the part of the 20th century. You dry brush first, and you massage with salts like Epsom salts. And then you shower or bath, and then you massage with the juice of a lemon that's been mixed with some aromatherapy blend. But you could also start this ritual standing in front of the mirror of the window and breathing in 10 times, and then having 3 glasses of water, and then doing this ritual. It's really good to keep your mind strong, keep your skin in good shape, and of course, exercising daily, breathing exercises, yoga, Tai Chi, swimming, and meditation. And we want to get that psychological and emotional support so we can have a positive mental outlook and let go of anger and fear, just take it away and just laugh. We laughed the other night so much. I was with my daughter and just a few people celebrating her big birthday, 50 years old. And there were only 8 people because of COVID. We were apart, but we were saying all the crazy things about her that we remembered. We laughed so much, and it felt so good to laugh. And when you're laughing, you're boosting your immune system. You're also helping to move the lymphatic system. And the slide I have at the bottom, which says yield to the present, I was at a silent retreat, and for 5 days we didn't speak at all and ate the most amazing vegetarian food. Our immune system really was boosted there. There was nothing negative, no negativity at all. And so as I was walking in the grounds, I saw this sign, and it said, yield to the present. And that's what we need to do right now. We need to yield to the present. Take care of yourself, but yield to the present. I also encourage you to honor your higher self and celebrate the sacred essence of yourself, and acknowledge your soul and how beautiful you are and how you fit into this beautiful picture. And within all the craziness that's going on, to look for all the good things that there are, and look for the blessings that you have in your life, because there are so many of them. And if you introduce rituals into your life and introduce aromatherapy, it will help you to celebrate and honor your higher self. And so I am doing a webinar on the lymphatic system. And I don't know if you all understand the importance of the lymphatic system. And if you're feeling sluggish and low energy and you don't have a lot of clarity, it may be something to do with your lymphatic system. So during this, we're going to reveal the secrets to help you to live a life that would be much more vital. And the webinar is $97 normally, but today it's going to be $47. And it's going to be on the 3rd of March on Zoom at 5 o'clock. And when we get off of this, I'm going to put it in the chat, this link that you can get onto to find out more about it. And it's going to be 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and on Zoom. And you will learn 8 ways to cleanse your lymphatic system. You will take away practical information, more information about essential oils and essential oils for lymphatic drainage. And we're actually going to go over the dry brushing technique and how to do that, and what herbs to strengthen your immune system, and foods and nutrients, more of them to help your lymphatic system. And we're going to go over 6 essential oils in detail for the lymphatic system and do a rose meditation. And that is the link. As soon as I stop the share, I will put that into the chat. And so that's what it will be. And if you sign up a friend, then you will receive a free bottle of lemon essential oil as well for doing that. So that is what I have. We're going to open it up for questions. This was taken when I was in the Lavender Fields in France. And for years and years and years, I would go in my meditations to the Lavender Fields. And the poor dentist, I once had some gum surgery, and I said to him, don't worry about me because I'm going to be meditating. And he was so worried. And then he disturbed me. I was in the Lavender Fields. I really was. And that was so beautiful that day. And there were butterflies and bees. And so we can do that wherever we are. We can be transported, you know, to places like that. And so I'm going to stop the share. And I'm going to just put in the chat here. See if I can do this now. That is the link. I did it. So, and then I would like to open up for questions. So you can, you know, unmute. Yes, laughter and finding joy in what you do every day, Carol. That's true. And Carol works with plants a lot in her garden, and she does wonderful things. Do you want to share with them a little bit about what you do, Carol? Because it's so beautiful in your garden.
I actually do some edibles in my garden, and I also do edible consulting for some people. I used to have a huge piece of, not a huge piece of property, but land that I had all sorts of stuff. But I learned essential oils with Linda for a year, took a wonderful course that she taught, which was just beautiful. So I want to thank her for that.
I miss you. Yeah, we get so close during the classes and then they're over, and then we meant to have lots of get-togethers, but life takes over, doesn't it?
Yes, it sure does.
But I'm always happy when people are continuing, you know, with the essential oils.
I use them every day.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. And Madam Janice, I know that you use essential oils a lot, right? Do you want to unmute yourself?
I do every day. I've had a love affair with essential oils for most of my adult life, and I use them every single day, and I smear my body with them, and I put them in the diffuser, and I put them in the bath, and I just find they're an amazing support, especially over this last year.
Yes, absolutely. And Janice is from Australia, and the Australian oils are absolutely incredible. They are amazing. And when I was in Australia with Janice, it's a million years ago now, isn't it? We got a shipment of some of the Australian oils, and Fregonia is just one of my favorites, just wonderful. So it's just, once you start working with essential oils, you can't live without them.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions for me? Anything you'd like to know?
Where can we get the blends from if we want a different sort of blend?
Well, so where to buy them? To buy blends? Okay, so I can customize any blend that you need, anything you want. I would have a consultation with you and then decide what you need. I have my own oils called Verenia Essentials on the website, which I didn't even give to you, but it's on the Aromatic Wellness Warrior website too. And then let me put down my website. Yeah, beautyclinique.com. Okay. So I have essential oil blends there, and then I customize as well. So you can just let me know what you would like me to blend for you, and I will do that.
Thank you.
It would be good for you to have that actually in your office. Like lemon is really good for concentration, but it's also good for the immune system. So it's really a good one to have in the office.
Thank you.
I have a question, Linda Ann. This is Jane Allison. Could you help us understand how to apply them to the body?
Yes.
Tell us a little more, please.
So we never put, almost never, 99% of the time, you do not put oils directly on your body. You always blend them in what we call a carrier oil, like sweet almond oil or coconut oil. There are many others that you can do. And then you're going to actually blend them into a lotion. You can get a lotion that has no chemicals in it. And you would add about 10 drops of essential oil to about half an ounce of a lotion or an oil. And then you would massage that in. You could also put them in a diffuser, and you either get an electric diffuser or an ultrasonic diffuser. And the ultrasonic diffusers actually have water in them, and you put the essential oils into the water, and then it just dispels that into the air. You can also make inhalers. So when I went to see my lady who was in her last days, she was on hospice, one of the things I did was I made an inhaler so that she could just have it next to her because her lungs were closing, and of course she was on medication. But they're little white inhalers, and there's a little inside it's like cotton, and you make your blend and then you soak the cotton in it. It's like a wick, and it goes inside the inhaler, and then you can use that with you. You can do it for respiration, but you can also do them for calming. So you could keep that in your purse, and anytime you just need to feel calm, you would smell that. So that's another way. The diffuser, you can in the bath. Oh, I love essential oils in the bath. So you can add it into some sunflower oil or some carrier oil or some bath salts. People love to do that, some Epsom salts or bath salts. And you add essential oils into the bath salts. You can actually add a little bit of an oil as well, regular oil. You start the water running in the bath, and then you add the essential oils, and then you continue in, and then you get in the bath and inhale straight away. Now, many of you might not take baths. I'm from South Africa. We didn't shower, we bathed, we bathed every single day. So if you do have a bath in your facility, in your house, and you are capable of getting in and out of the bath, it is wonderful, because the shower, you're just in and out. The bath, you can ponder, you can feel wonderful, you can really make yourself special and create it into a ritual. You really can put a candle, put lovely music, and make that your sacred space. And even if you've got a small bathroom, you can do that. So that's the other way. So it's with inhalation through different ways, either through a diffuser or through an inhaler that I explained to you, or through a lotion or an oil that could go onto you as well, or you could do it in the bathtub. So those are different methods of application, and we always want to be safe. There are certain oils we do not put on the skin, like cinnamon. Cinnamon is wonderful. It's antiviral. It protects your immune system, but it can burn your skin. So you have to know how to use these. If you are going to use cinnamon, it must be blended in a low percentage. And when I teach my classes, we go into the detail of what percentages can be used of different essential oils. So there is an art and a skill to doing that. But if some of you are just starting out, what I suggest you do is start with 2 oils that you love, and use them and smell them and read up about them. You can contact me and I'll be happy to do that. And absolutely use those and get intimate with them, a knowledge of those oils. And then you can expand from there on. Or if there's a particular condition that you have, either mental, emotional, or physical, or someone in your family, see what essential oils are good for that. And then let's talk about which essential oils you would like to use, and then you can learn how to do those, and maybe with a blend. I have a lot of clients coming into me who have lots of oils. They've already bought lots of oils from some of the multi-level companies, but they don't know what to do with it. They just don't know what to do. They just bought the oil. So I'll tell them, okay, tell me what you have, and let's work out what you need to do, and I'll help you to make blends so that you can use these oils. They don't just go in the diffuser. So that was a great question. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Anybody else? Any questions? You know, aromatherapy is just so amazing. It's just, it becomes quite an integral part of one's life. And I work with patients with lymphedema as well. And so I work with essential oils to help prevent infections, because the patients with lymphedema get infections. I'm going to be doing a whole series of talks for one of the compression garment companies starting in about 2 weeks' time, working with essential oils for lymphedema. And there's Madam Tanya. Hello, nice to see you.
Hi, Linda Ann. It's Victoria. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi. How are you? That's lovely. I can hear you. How are you, Vicky?
I am wonderful. Thank you. I typed something up in the chat box, but you may have not seen it yet. And then it looks like someone following me had the exact same question too. So my question is about the longevity of the oils. So how long do they stay fresh?
That's a really, really good question. You saw the dark bottles. They have to be stored in dark bottles. The citrus oils only last about 6 months. They actually are okay, but they have terpenes, and the terpenes in them oxidize really, really quickly. So you don't want to keep those longer than about 6 months. But everything else, as long as it's in a dark bottle and in a dark place, not in the car, not in the heat, they will last for several years. And some of the oils, like the resin oils, myrrh and the patchouli and even sandalwood, they get better with age. And then there's a question here too, can you drink the oils? No, Yanira, we don't. There are some people who are telling you to take oils and put them under your tongue every single day. No, you can get too much exposure from that, and you can start developing sensitivities. Also, the oils are very, very powerful, and they have a lot of chemical components in them. When you know about using essential oils, you could potentially use some of them in a capsule or put some in honey and take it internally, but you really need to know what you're doing. And if you take some of them without the honey and just put it in water, you could actually burn your esophagus. So there is a whole study of internal use of essential oils through suppositories, through the mouth, and then through inhalation, and that's called aromatic medicine. And I am qualified to do that. But if you don't know what you're doing, the answer is no. It's very tempting. And actually, when you apply it onto your skin, the oils penetrate into the skin and go into your body. And you actually bypass the liver. When you're taking them and you're ingesting things, it goes to the liver, and it could be toxic to the liver. So we want the safe use of essential oils.
So Linda Ann, along those lines, what about respiratory? So healing the oils, is there any oil if people have asthma or COPD? Is there anything that can be toxic if inhaled?
It could be, and you never want to do anything in the middle of an asthma attack. You never want to start with oils. There is an oil called Inula graveolens. It's actually a blue color, and that is very good for asthma. It's very expensive, and the only way to use it is in a diffuser. And usually we don't put expensive oils into the diffuser, but that you want for the respiration in a small room in a diffuser, the Inula. But there are oils that can be helpful for asthma. Also, emotions will trigger an asthma attack. So if you keep the person with the stress levels down, you could hopefully prevent that asthma attack. So that's how we work with things. And with essential oils, we don't work on cancer. We don't work on asthma. We work on the whole body. We work with the terrain of the body, that then it will help all those other conditions. So that was a very thoughtful question, because you do want to be very safe always in whatever you're using. And also, we use less. We don't use a lot. Less is actually more. We use homeopathic use of essential oils.
Linda Ann. Hi.
Hello.
So I don't know if you remember, but last year I had told you about my son, which last year he was 6, and the doctor had diagnosed them with swollen adenoids and turbinates, and you had given me the blend, I think it was called Breathe, and I bought the diffuser and I put that in every night for him when he goes to bed. And we went back to the ENT doctor in combination with the aromatherapy oils and some homeopathic remedies. We went back to the ENT doctor and he's like, oh, well, the first time they said they wanted to take out the tonsils, and after the aromatherapy and the homeopathic remedies, they said it hasn't gotten worse. You know, we don't think that he needs to have the surgery.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. That's what we want. That's fantastic. And that was the Breathe. That was my Verenia Essentials Breathe essential oil. It's got 2 kinds of eucalyptus, peppermint, rosemary, silver fir, and I think there's something else. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's really good news. It's fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it is an hour, so we could, if we want to have, if we have more questions, I can stay, but I'm trying to be timely here. Let me see if there's any other questions. No, there's no more questions over there. Okay, Devora had to leave. Morning sunshine. Yes, morning sunshine. We need that, don't we, to boost everything, and deep breathing and meditation and hydration. That's all good things. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to think about the things that we spoke about today. And if there are 2 things that you maybe are not doing that you can incorporate into your life to help you to boost your immune system and to be more calm and to be more connected, that's what I want you to do. And then you can contact me and let me know. I'd be really interested to know what you've incorporated and how it's helped you in your life. I know for me, I've got to sleep more. So, and at sometimes in our life, we're doing everything really well. And other times we need to say, okay, I've got to keep accountable. That's the only way we can keep healthy and vital. And for those of you who know me, my plan is to live to be 100. So we have to look after ourselves to do that if we want to be healthy. My mom's 96, so I guess I could do that.
I think you'll do well over that.
So thank you all so much. This was really lovely to have you. I'm sorry about the bit of the glitch in the beginning, but it was all good now. So, okay.
Thank you, Linda Ann.
Please email me or contact me on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever you want to contact me. If you have any questions or anything that comes up, I'm always happy to help.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
So much was beautiful.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. I just have to tell everybody, let me just stop this recording here. How to do that.